All
Right.
righty, everyone. My name is Kayla St. Eliard. I'm with the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention here in Oxford, Alabama. And I have Miss Misha Rudolph joining me today. She is with
Hello.
AIDS Alabama. How are you doing today, Miss Misha?
I'm good. How about you today?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to have you on this podcast. We've all been
Me
looking forward to
too.
this here at ASAP. Just we wish you were like here, but we
Me
understand.
too. And thank y'all for having me today. Thank y'all
You're
so much.
welcome. It's not a problem at all. It's not a problem. So I wanted to just bring you in today because you let me know you are in with the Ascension. You are an Ascension Rapid Rehousing. Can you just reiterate that for me a little bit? What is it exactly
Yeah.
your position is?
Yeah, so I work at AIDS Alabama, and so under that umbrella, I work with the Ascension Rapid Rehousing Program, which I work with the homeless population, so homeless prevention. And so with our Rapid Rehousing Program, we help our clients find housing and just a program that works with case management. So that's what I am. I'm a case manager, and it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, look at you out there getting into the community. And this is what we like to see. Like, this is who we like to partner with, is people that's out there trying to, you know, help people like we are.
Yeah,
So that's
yes.
great. So the homeless people that you do assist and find services for, do most of them have AIDS? Have they already been diagnosed?
So with our clients, in our particular program, no, they don't have to have HIV to join our program. Some of the other programs at AIDS Alabama, they do require you to have, HIV, but with our program, you don't have to. If you do, then we do referrals for our program at AIDS Alabama for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. So
yeah,
I wish we had something like that here. I know we do have homeless associations, but we don't really have anything that focuses on the HIV AIDS portion of it specifically. Have you heard of anything like that maybe in this area? I know I haven't.
health services in Anniston
Mm-hmm.
in Hospital City, they provide the treatment side. The prevention side, I don't know much about the prevention side with the other programs. I think like the Right Place and some other programs, but I'm not really familiar with County as
Yeah,
much as I used to be. Yeah,
no, that's completely understandable.
but yeah, but it is some programs like that works with HIV, such as the Health Services Center. That's my old job, so shout out to them.
Cool. And I noticed in this area too, and also you're located out of Birmingham, correct?
Yes,
So
yes.
do you see a lot of people that do come, maybe I know you don't diagnose specifically, but when you do run across those that have been diagnosed with HIV and AIDS, do they tell you a little bit of their story, like maybe
Yes.
what may have happened? Does a lot of it come maybe through like substance use and stuff like
And
that?
it does. A lot of times, many times it does come from substance abuse, sometimes sex workers, sometimes, yeah, sometimes it can just be, hard times. They was using drugs and trying to get money. It's a lot of stuff that play into that factor. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is that background story. Sometimes it can just be um one of them might just had sex for the first time and then contract the HIV that way. I done had a story where a young lady was, and it's sad to say, but she was raped, and that type of situation happened when she did contract HIV that way. So it's a lot of different stories that I hear being a case manager that plays a part in that. But substance abuse is mainly the number one
Yeah.
reason on how they contract it,
Yeah.
whether it's through needle use or anything like that.
And I have noticed that there has been an increase of, like, especially with COVID and everything going on, people sharing needles, reusing needles. And I
Yeah.
was telling you a little bit earlier before we actually started the podcast that these numbers have, I feel like, greatly increased. I have like a quarterly report from January 1st to September 30th. And the age group that is seeing the most happen in is 30 through 39.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the majority of where the newly diagnosed cases and the most prevalent cases as well
Wow.
are coming from. Um, and there's a lot in, like I was telling you, in the Black community too, that I'm
Yeah.
seeing where the numbers are spiking. And a lot of that I found is coming from substance use. Like I forgot where, where Dale Love Shop is.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of down, you just kind of walk on the street. Sometimes you'll see like stuff like being disposed just out there. And it just really breaks my heart because I'm like,
Yeah.
for one, that's really dangerous using needles, and doing drugs. But then you have
Right.
out here, somebody could step on it, a child could pick it
Try
up.
to step on it.
And
Right.
if that person was HIV positive that was using that needle, now it's been transmitted to, someone and
Or
they have
someone's
to. Yeah, that just breaks my heart and makes me so sad.
me too. And side note from that as well, they have certain programs, Birmingham and other states too, that has what you call syringe exchange programs. And so and it's really new. It's a couple of years old, but what a lot of people do, they'll exchange their dirty needles and take it to them so they can get clean needles.
Mm,
And it's prevention work. And even though prevention looks different ways, but I was like, yeah, that's a side of prevention that we might not think about. It's just sometimes we just have to take it to that client level
yeah,
and, take it on that prevention side of it and then work with them and build that way up. So eventually, yes, we want you to be able to stop using drugs. But right now, if it's hard for you right now to stop, you know, it's a program out here that'll be able to help you out with
exactly.
that. And I was like, wow, that changed my whole way of thinking about prevention. Cause I was like, okay,
Wow, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of different ways of prevention.
And that has really sparked my interest because I never thought about that either. Kind of meeting them where they're at in a sense, trading out their dirty for clean, so that way they, you know what I'm saying, aren't tempted
Yeah,
to dispose of them another way or just reuse them or give them to friends. So, what are
yeah.
some other prevention measures that you may have seen just in the work that you do?
um Now the prevention side that I used to work with, and I still do with AIDS Alabama, we give out condoms. We give out condoms to our clients, and
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
and it's just one of those conversations, but it's an honest conversation. We just give it to them because we know sometimes being at high risk, um, we know what alcohol and different drugs do to the body. Sometimes it just you don't think about it. You don't think about your health when it comes down to it because you're under that influence of that particular drug. And so we just say, hey, protect yourself at all costs. Not only wear a mask, but also wear protection.
Exactly,
Protection.
exactly.
Double protection.
Yes. And that makes sense too. And I guess like when dealing, I guess with what I deal with in prevention is I guess I only saw maybe the drug part of it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's see what we can do maybe to prevent them from doing these drugs or things like that. But I didn't
Yeah.
even think too, like the condom thing, like you have to, it's not even about just the drug use anymore. It's like the decisions you make when you're on those drugs.
Drugs.
And you do need the condoms and the protection and things
Protection.
like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Thank you.
do y'all offer like free testing like throughout?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, free testing throughout. Only thing the client have to do, especially if they felt like they was at risk, only thing they have to do is let the case manager know, like, hey, can I get tested? And what we do is provide them with that referral, give them that free transportation, and just take them to the clinic so they can go ahead and get tested for free. Get their results back that same day. It don't take long. It only take 20 minutes to get your results back.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm like, 20 minutes? That's all it takes, 20 minutes.
Bad. Well, I mean, like for the testing time, because I know back when I was younger and, when I was in high school and things like that, and they would come and talk to us about HIV testing. I guess it wasn't as advanced back then because you would have to wait weeks, maybe sometimes 2 weeks, just to get your blood work back. And anything could happen in those 2 weeks. You
Two
know,
weeks.
do something, maybe do something with someone else, or
Right.
experiment with a drug and share
Right.
a needle with someone. So I'm really glad that that testing time has really been quicker, because that always worried me too. And so is it still too, is it, because I just want to make sure I'm still informed. I know
Right.
that the process is, if you feel like you may have been exposed to HIV or AIDS, to maybe wait the 6 months and then get tested, or get tested.
So normally it's an incubation period. So we always say, you can have sex with somebody and the next day you would not know, a week from now you would not know. And so we normally say, that incubation period, you know give yourself a month just so you can get some so we can see the results and everything like that. Some tests, it all depends on what type of HIV test that you take. Some tests can test quicker than others. The rapid rehousing, not rapid rehousing, but the rapid test that they have out here, we also say, like, just take a month just to give yourself some time to
Mm,
get this to get those cells in. And so if so, you'll be able to know. If not, then you're good.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad though that it doesn't take. I just feel like the medicinal side of it, and the technology has all just been so advanced. It's still a very scary topic, but I
Yeah.
was watching some videos earlier, just about how, if you are diagnosed with HIV or AIDS, to just stay on your medication, and stay on treatment. And not saying that it will ever go away, but in the future you could maybe possibly protect yourself by it being limited in your system.
Yes,
Have you heard
ma'am.
about that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So as long as you're taking your meds as you should, sometimes it only requires just one pill a day.
Mm,
Some pills is just one pill a day. As long as you're taking it, and your levels eventually will get back to that point. You will have HIV, but if you was to take a test,
mm.
sometimes it might not even show up on that test because you done took it as much as you should, and your levels done got back high or low as it should be. Hmm.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
so the more, and let me make sure I'm saying this right. The mortality rate has probably gone up too, because I know 20 years ago, if you were diagnosed with HIV or AIDS, then you had little
A
to,
death sentence.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And then you
A
have
death
people like
sentence.
Magic Johnson who live forever with being diagnosed. So I'm just glad now that, even though it is still a very, I think, a very important topic to discuss, and it's a very,
Yeah.
very scary and serious
Yeah.
thing, it
Right.
just makes me feel a little bit better knowing that it's not a death sentence anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I always tell people, you have a wonderful chance at life, a wonderful chance at living a regular life. It's not like how it used to be 20 years ago. You can still go to work. You can still have a family. You can still have kids. It's a lot of different ways now. It's HIV, it's a different light now compared to how it used to be. So that's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful. And
Yeah.
I also just, but I want, even though, it is beautiful that,
Yeah.
things are a little bit better, I still just want to really stress to people to protect yourself.
Himself.
Just stay safe.
Safe.
Know your
That's right.
partners, know who you're with. Protect yourself if you do decide to engage in various
Exactly.
activities. And
Exactly.
if you are using drugs, don't share your needles. Dispose of them properly. Try and
That's
find
right.
programs like, how y'all have, where you can go and dispose of your, trade out your needles for clean needles and things like that. Just take the steps to try
Try to
and
prevent.
prevent. And not only for just you have to think about others too, because your decisions can also affect a lot of people around you, and it can affect your future and people that you meet in the future as well. So
Exactly.
I feel like all that has to be taken into consideration.
Exactly. Exactly. And when it comes down to that prevention, to that prevention side, um, limiting your sex partners is one of the key
Mhm.
components, because you never know who that person been with, because you had to think about all the people they done been with, all the other people done
Mhm.
been with, and that's how you have to think about prevention. When it comes down to with drugs, you have to know that, hey, having these different drugs, it can alter your mind, it can alter your thinking, and you're not going to think straight with alcohol, you're not going to think straight with opiates, you're not going to think straight with marijuana, you're not going to think straight. You put yourself at a higher risk
Mhm.
with that. So yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. And I like when you said that, you never know who that person with and who's that person been with. It kind of reminds me of this diagram that they showed us in high school, where you start off with two people, then you
Yes.
have like it goes down and then it goes down. And me and my friends actually tried this in high school. We were in focus group. It was a group in high school that focused on learning about HIV, AIDS, just basic health stuff, just taking care of yourself,
Right.
cold and flu season type stuff. It was just an overall good program that we had. But I remember once we were all sitting down and we just chose a person in our school that was well known. And we
Yeah.
started out with him. And then by the time we had got done, we started on the whiteboard.
Hmm.
By the time we got done, there was over 100 people that had just stemmed off of him.
Wow. Wow.
So it's just and if you are at home watching this, if you sit down, and I'm not saying to just maybe think of just a random person or create a person in
Person.
your head, and then
Right.
just think about who that person could have been with, and then who that person
That person.
it once you really get it all out there, it's like, wow, because this is a lot of people. And then if that's that many people involved, how do you really know, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
where it comes from or where the issue, came from. Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of times people don't get tested as regularly as they should.
Mm.
And that's the other issue, because a lot of times people are afraid to get tested. They're afraid to know those results.
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you can't be afraid to know the results if you're going to put yourself at risk. I'm sorry, but you just, it's a scary topic, yes, and but it has to be known. You have to make that conscious decision to say, hey, I need to know the results for myself. If I know I'm gonna put myself at that risk, at least let me know my results so I won't put nobody else at risk.
Hmm. It's so important to know your status.
Know your
I tell
status.
everybody that if you are sexually active, you need to know your status.
That's
Um,
right.
I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter these days because we have kids starting younger and younger. So
Yeah.
even if they are, you need to know your status, get yourself checked out at least once a year, at the
Right.
least. Especially if you have multiple partners, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you
Right.
protect yourself and protect others, because once you become sick, you could very well make others sick. So just
Exactly.
that's one thing I stress. And one thing I used to stress to my friends too, they used to think I was so weird because they'd be like, why are you always telling us to go get tested? And I'm like, listen, I just want to make sure y'all are safe, because
That's
I want to
right.
see y'all happy. I want to see you healthy. I want to see y'all have families one day, and I don't want
Exactly.
to see anything get in the way of that. So that's why I tell anybody, like, AIDS testing is pretty much free.
It
Um,
is.
if you go to your local health department, most of the time you can get tested for free. I know at JSU sometimes they have stations where you can go get tested for free.
That's right.
So if it's free, y'all should be all over that, I think.
Exactly, exactly. And in Alabama, you can get tested at a young age. You can get tested 12, 13 years old. You don't even have to let your parents know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, kids are scared to have them conversations with their parents,
Mhm.
or, with whoever, but they have that option as well. Like, hey, you can still get tested. Just go to your local health department. And I know the hard part is like the transportation part, but they do have those services for younger generations, so they can have that as a safety net to, like, hey, let me go get tested. Yes, let me go get some condoms. Let me let me just be careful. So That's good as well.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Um,
Yeah.
is there anything else that you wanted to add in?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to let me talk to you. And,
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it and everything. But yeah, I didn't have anything else added.
And thank you so much for being a part of this. You were so willing to be on board with this, and I'm really appreciate that.
You're
We here at
welcome.
ASAP, you're a vet here, you're loved here so much,
I
and we're
love
really
ASAP.
grateful. We're really
Look,
grateful for you.
I'm thankful for y'all. And look, y'all always home team to me. So y'all forever near and dear to my heart.
Awesome. Thank you. And we are so proud
Thank
of you
you.
and everything that you've
Thank
been
you.
doing and all your endeavors. And I look forward
Thank
to hearing
you.
stories of how you continue to change lives in the future because I know you're definitely
Mm,
out there changing some lives.
Thank you. And look, same to you. Same to you. You keep on doing what you're doing and keep thriving and striving.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching our video today. If you would like additional resources and information, please visit hivinfo.nih.gov. Also, visit us at our website at asaprev.com or call us at 256 831 4436. Thank you.